Good morning, everybody. Monday morning update. I'm adjusting, sorry. It's May 24th, and so we are going to do, we're going to finish the passage in Ezekiel that we were doing Sunday that I didn't want to get lost. Sometimes, just do the verses you want to talk about. But anyway, I'm going to finish 37:11 to 14, finish the thought that Isaiah was having about dry bones, okay? Then God said to me, that's Ezekiel, God said to me, Son of man, those bones are the people of Israel. They say, Our bones are dried up and our hope is gone. We are cut off. Therefore prophesy and say to them, This is what the sovereign Lord says. My people, I am going to open your graves and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Then you, my people, will know that I am the Lord when I open your graves and bring you up from them. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in my own land. Then you will know that I am the Lord, that I, the Lord, have spoken, and I have done it, declares the Lord. Okay, that's the end of the thought. And sometimes it's very difficult for us as contemporary readers to get into the mind or understand the mind of the Old Testament folk where their faith did not necessarily guarantee some kind of blissful afterlife. Just didn't. The scripture, a live dog's better than a dead lion, kind of shows that example that sometimes once you breathe your last breath, it's all over. And that was a dominant thought in the Old Testament. And so the blessings that God gave were more for this time, in this life, in this moment. To enjoy the life God has given you right now, not delay for some future date of a better place and a better time, but to enjoy the moment now. And while that's difficult for us to grasp, sometimes if we would read the Old Testament with that thought in mind, it might unlock a lot of blessings for us right now. And read the New Testament the same way. There's blessings for us right now, and to enjoy the life God has given you right now. But anyway, out of some of these passages, though, began to come the thought of time eternal with God. And you see it even here in Ezekiel, where right at the end he says, I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in my own land. Is that heaven? Is that Israel? Where is that? And but there's something about an eternal dwelling with God thought that has begun there. It's something that Jesus really blows the doors off of and says, hey, this day you will be with me in paradise. But it's an evolution of thought. It's just not a bam, but slowly it grows that people begin to go, hey, wait a minute. God not only loves us now, God will bring us home, and he'll let us rest in eternity in his land and in heaven, right? And so that was something I just wanted to share a little more of, but I thought it would take us away too much from the dry bones that we're trying to hit, and that it's never too late. It is never too late until it's too late, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So anyway, I'm still working on this Bible. It's hung in longer than I thought it would. Good old duct tape's right over there in the corner. All right. I have an apology. I have a confession again. It's Confession Monday. I understand that Sandy Reams needs a kindergarten teacher for VBS. It's really important. It's weighing on her. So we could help her if one of us would just volunteer to be that kindergarten teacher. And because Hunter has been coming to Children's Moment, you all know he'll be in that kindergarten class, and that's probably scaring you, because that boy's a ball of fire. So here's my promise to you. If you volunteer to be the kindergarten teacher, I will come in and sit on him for extended periods of time. And then you can just teach and enjoy and have a great time. And I'll wrestle him to the ground with the power of God and keep him under control. And you won't feel the pressure. Now, he's actually a good kid. He'd be great in class, don't worry. But we do need the kindergarten teacher, so we do hope someone feels the call to step up and do that. It's not a big responsibility, but it's a big responsibility. It's not a huge time crunch, but sometimes when you're alone with a bunch of kids, it can feel like a lot of time has passed. But we'll get a helper for you. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. So I hope that someone feels called to step up. Everything is relaxing, easing up. The numbers are going down. This is great. So we need to step into ministry. We need to step into ministry. And VBS really, because of timing, is going to be that very first step the church makes into ministry. It really is. I mean, back into community involvement and back into activity and back into invitation. So it's a big step. So I hope somebody who is listening is ready to step in. Speaking of stepping in, later in June, first week of June, I'm trying to set a meeting where we can talk about the direction of the church and where we kind of want to go from COVID. Where do we want to take off? We need to balance expectations of all members, not just cater to the needs of 4 members or 5 or however many, but that all members might feel heard and understood, and then we try our best to meet those expectations. We want to make God's love real, and we want to use our gifts to serve others. That's kind of how we put, using our Ezekiel, that's how we put flesh on the bone. That's how we're putting skin around it. That's how we're going to do it, is we're going to use our gifts to serve others. That's that First Peter, and which we're wrapping up First Peter Bible study, I hope this week. But we want to use those gifts. We want to use those gifts to serve others, and so we need to have a meeting this first week of June, and I'll let you know the exact date later this week. We need to get together and say, this is where we think we as a church are, and where we as a church need to be or want to get to, and then how do we get there? How do we get there? And so that'll be the goal. That'll be the goal for us out of that meeting. And it'll probably be a lot of pastor talking and weeping and crying and moaning and telling you all kinds of things. But you get to hear a whole lot of thought on decisions, how they're made in the church, and sometimes how one decision can really string out 7 more decisions. And so if we can get a better understanding of how we as a church kind of work, hopefully then it won't cause a lot of hardship or hard feelings on people when we begin to make some smaller changes to see how we can better make God's love real. Does that make sense? And it's open to everybody. I sent the note to a few people, elders and people like that, worship committee and things like that. But it's open to the whole church. So we'll put the date out there, and if you want to come, and you can hear me talk. And we'll give everybody a chance for 2 cents. Everybody can say 2 cents. We're not going to be in agreement on this, and it's okay. It's okay. And we will find our way. We will find our way. All right. That's probably all I have for today. So God bless y'all. Real good. I hope I see you Sunday. This is a pastor's heart. A pastor misses folks when they're not here. And I'm not laying a guilt trip on you or anything like that, but know that you are being prayed for. Know that you are missed when you are not here. I have families in my mind right now I could list off, and that would be rude, and I won't do it. But I miss you, and I hope I get to see you some Sunday. So God bless y'all. Real good. Have a great week.